Okay, so on this installment of I'm Not Drunk, but I Wish I Was, is basically looking at my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my mother, and my great-aunt all having this disease. These are the people that I know about. I don't know about anybody else, like cousins, great cousins, or anything like that having this disease, so I'm just going to stick with the people that I do know. Okay. So this is my mother. Oh dear God. Sorry everybody. I really thought I had my shit together. Anyway, her name was Barbara Harrison Mullicky. She was born January 8th, 1948, and she died September 28th, 2000. My mother, let's see, she was really kind and sweet and very forgiving. She was always there for me. She was the mother with the jeans that went up really high and the sneakers and not really caring about her hair. I mean, she really didn't really care about those things. She just wanted to make sure like her kids were okay and focusing and making it in life. My mother was a breadwinner. She worked at the, I really kind of don't want to say where she worked, but she was a breadwinner for several years, which enabled my sister and I to go to Catholic school, get Catholic education, stuff like that. So we grew up in St. Louis. My mother was born in St. Louis. Now, her mother, Myrtle Heilwick Harrison, I'm going to try to do the picture again. She was born in 1914 and she died in 1976. Now, she was diagnosed with MS as well as my mother. But I should probably go back and say that. My mother had MS. So, Myrtle Heilwick was diagnosed with MS. According to family stories, none of the children wanted to tell Myrtle that she had MS because they were afraid that she would go downhill very quickly if she knew, because her own mother had something funky going on with her. So in 1974, when my parents got married, there was a picture of my grandmother in a wheelchair. And so 2 years later, 2 years later, she dies in 1976. So whether or not she knew what was going on with her or not, I really don't know. And so Myrtle had a sister. She had two sisters, both of them starting with E's, Ethel and Evelyn. Evelyn lived to be like 92 years old with no disease manifestation. She was completely free of the family disease anyway. Now, her other sister was named Ethel. Ethel, according to family stories, manifested her weird mobility issues starting at age 20 or 22. And her husband carried her around everywhere. And so that was kind of difficult to hear. But she ended up dying at 42 years old of pernicious anemia. Now, my great-grandmother, May McKernan, she was born in 1885 to 1959. Now, all of these women were born in St. Louis, Missouri. I just want to state that. Great-grandma May, her mother was born in Ireland. So maybe this is something from Ireland. I don't really know. But according to stories about my grandmother saying that her mother had some mobility issues, I really wanted to look at great-grandma May and see, you know, are there any signs of it in her pictures or anything like that? And I really can't tell. Oh my gosh. But she died at like age 70 something of a cerebral hemorrhage. So that is my great-grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, and my great-aunt. 4 women in 3 generations that all had this mysterious disease process going on with them. Next week, I will uncover a few more people related to my mother, siblings of my mother, that also started manifesting. And then I will look at my generation, me being the obvious, and some other person really, that may or may not have this disease. But until then, may my cats be better behaved. Have a good night.